No.
Well,
now
we're live. We're live.
It's you are live.
You still haven't done the thing where I'm able to put the comments up and stuff.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that.
Oh, just so you can maintain control of it?
Damn right. I need the control.
Thank God we didn't talk about this before we were live.
Yeah, because 3 already. Holy shit.
People are foaming at the mouth, man.
People are totally foaming at the mouth. Well, maybe we can make it to 5 then before the intro. I mean,
well, don't get too carried away.
Oh, it went down to 2.
People have already given up.
People are like, nope. Very sorry. Thank you for trying. All right, I got to lower my preamp. I'm putting it in the red. Can't put that in the red. We're down to 1. Oh, we're back to 2. Okay, that was weird. And I hope everybody's watching on the YouTubes because that's what matters. But, all right, we got to wait for 3 again. I know. We
were already there.
We were there with 3 again. All right, ready?
Run the intro.
Here we go. We're rolling the intro. We're going early. All right. You haven't even seen this one.
No, I haven't.
Ready?
Yes.
Sometimes not knowing is kind of cool.
It always takes me off guard.
Come on, ending it with Max Sabbath?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Max Sabbath. What a fantastic concept that band is.
Yeah, Black Sabbath done by people wearing McDonald's character outfits. I mean,
lyrically, it's about McDonald's.
Yes, everything is contoured to everything is curated to fit the theme.
They're like,
would say
they're like Beatallica.
Yeah, but Beatallica is a little different. It's kitschy, but like, I mean, yeah, like if the Beatles were Metallica, or if Metallica were the Beatles, or what have you, whichever way you want to put it. I mean, I like Beatallica.
There's a lot of deep references in that band where you have to be a big Beatles fan and you have to be a big Metallica fan to appreciate how deep they've gone.
Yeah, totally. and if you don't know either, if you know either one in a like a more cursory way, you will not enjoy it. You'll just be like, oh, that's kind of funny. But like if you know both bands pretty well, like you and I both do, it's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like the greatest thing on the planet.
I saw Beatallica open for Dream Theater once.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Well, oh, wait a minute. Hang on one second. There's already 2 comments.
And they're from YouTube.
They are, which is great, which means people are using you. And Mark Gardney's here. And unfortunately, Jeff Henderson's here.
Mark missed the last live show and he was bummed out about it. He was messaging me.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool to have people that are just so invested. Thank you, Mark. You are our biggest fan. And Jeff is our tallest fan, but he's also the biggest douche. So there's that. So, there's a give and take and all.
Here we go. He's already prodding him.
Yeah, well, look, he already said, I don't believe I gave my permission to use my likeness. Well, it wasn't your likeness. It was the multitude of chins that you have in that picture that, caused you to be part of it. So these nuts are for you. Anyway, so and now Princess Patty's here. Another country heard from, if you will. So you got to get more of those going, man.
I know. I always forget that how to do the load up until I get everything plugged in, and then I remember that it has these pads on it. I definitely got to add them.
Just hit a button. Hit the crickets one. No.
Hang on, I got the psh guy in here somewhere.
I heard the psh.
Hey, man.
There's a psh guy.
Unreal.
I can't hear him, so you've got to tell me what you're hearing.
They're all stupid. Nah, forget it then.
If
you can't hear it, then it's no good.
I can't hear it.
That's what I'm saying. You can't hear it, so it's no good.
Everyone else can hear it though.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So this week, we're going deep. This week, we're going with a full-on "This Song Sucks" marathon.
It is everybody's favorite part.
It really is, and that's because you and I get our dander up, and then we give each other what for, and while in a Donnybrook and what have you. So we're gonna hit all that here shortly. But first, Nick, who are you and what do you own?
I am Nick Morocco, and I am the owner of Rock City Music Company in Livonia, Michigan.
And what's the address?
www.rockcitymusicco.com.
And for your local audience?
33425 5 Mile Road, Livonia, Michigan, 48154, USA. Give us a call, 734-744-5462.
I like the way you had a pause. You didn't quite remember your address.
I didn't remember the zip code. I almost read the zip code to my house.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, all right. Yeah, that's where Nick's at. Check out his store. Check out his website. Check out all the really cool things they have and call them up and see if they have the used vinyl that you're looking for or the new guitars you're looking for.
Or the new vinyl.
You're looking for. But a lot of that's on your website, though, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. The used stuff, you kind of have to inquire. So, anyway. So, Jeff Henderson's already, he's already starting. I don't believe you ever forgot how to get a load up, and he's very happy for that because it winds up all over his face. So there's that.
I just want to interject before we go any further and say I get a run of show every week from Mike that kind of breaks down. It doesn't. We don't cheat and tell each other what we're going to talk about or anything, but he gives a rundown of. We're going to talk about this, then we're going to talk about this, then we're going to talk about this. And right at the top of every run of show is make sure to keep the feed clean. And we're 7 minutes in and he's already talked about putting loads on people's faces.
But look, is this not I didn't start it. I never start this. It's always reactionary because, when you have a 7-foot idiot in the crowd, you have to kind of be like, dude, move out of the way. We're all shorter than you. And doesn't mean that our dicks aren't larger than yours.
Oh, is he the guy that always gets the ticket in front of me at the concert?
Yes, he's that guy. Always that guy. So, anyway. So, all right. So that's where Nick is. My name is Mike Venezia. That is Nick Morocco. Welcome to Cover to Covered, episode 15. Again, this is the This Song Sucks marathon. Before we get to that, though, a couple of things. First off, we will be on next week and then we'll be off another week. We'll be off on the 27th. Yeah, the 27th.
Why is that?
I am on the road.
Oh,
so
that's a good reason to be off
the road. I would love to do this show when I'm on the road. I just don't know when I'm going to be done with work. So for me to be able to prep and do all that wouldn't be, it was hard enough today. I got left work a little bit late today and got home and had to do the video because I was busy yesterday. So anyway, those of you that missed the video, you missed the video. Second of all, a little bit of housekeeping here, just a little bit of education. So one of my coworkers wound up getting a U2 album that he won in an auction, and it was what's the one with all like the pictures on it? It's like Zootopia or whatever.
Oh no, it's Octung Baby, which is a great record.
Yeah. So I'm not the biggest U2 fan or anything, so forgive me if I don't know the titles just by the cover. But anyway, you got it, and it was really, really crackly. Really crackly. Visually though, like if you gave it it would be a VG plus. Totally VG plus. So he said, "Hey man, this thing is all crackly. What do I do?" I'm like, "Oh, give it to me. I'll try to give it a cleaning." So I want to see if you guys feel that I did a decent job with this. So here is what it sounded like beforehand. Okay, this is when he first gave it to me. All right, this is before. All right, so that sounded really crackly, right? Especially on the dead wax.
Yes.
So this is what I did to it, and you let me know, and I could tell you all about my technique, okay? And this is after one pass of cleaning. It's funny, it sounds like a whole different band. Remarkably like Judas Priest. I thought it was an improvement. I thought it was an incredible improvement.
It's amazing when you put a record through a VPI machine, the cleaning it does. It just exposes all those frequencies.
Right? I mean, it brought out the double bass that you didn't hear on Octung Baby, and a little later on, there was a bit of a Rob Halford influence. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
I'm just trying to picture you two doing Painkiller.
This is I can't even pretend being Bono. It would have a lot of echo on the guitar, a lot of reverb and a lot of delay. And it would. I think
the thing about the Edge is I think when he starts a song, he only plays two notes once, and then it just goes through the whole song.
Well,
he's just standing there.
In motion. Yeah, it's efficiency in guitar playing. If the way I look at it, if I could just hit two notes and just bob my head a lot for the rest of the song and make millions of dollars while doing it, sure, I'm in.
I would love to get backstage at U2, like do a stage tour, and then when I get over to the Edge's rig, just turn all the knobs on all of his pedals. They would have to cancel the show.
Other people are already instant improvement. Instant improvement. So they are all in agreement. This is good. All right, great. So I wanted to make sure I can give away my techniques, but I think I may keep this one buried.
That was fantastic.
So, all right. With that said, how was your 4th of July? Was it good? You still got all your fingers and toes or what?
I do. I spent it in the mountains of Georgia.
Now, did you use the playlist?
I did. I used the playlist on the way down there.
Nice.
And I thought we made some good educated guesses.
We did. I was listening to the playlist when I was in Vegas, and I had friends of mine, and we had rented a cabana at the hotel, and I had the playlist on. And they're like, wow, it's a pretty good playlist. So kudos to us.
Good for us. We know what we're talking about. Just ask us. Just ask us.
Once in a while, we pull off something good. But it was 115 songs, so you're bound to like something in there somewhere along the way. So, yeah, cool, man. And your trip was good. Your round trip, spending 36 hours driving for 24 hours of hanging out in Georgia.
You know what? To be fair, it was only 12 going there and about 15 coming back. So
why?
Well, we made some stops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
the records.
No records. No, actually, no. That's incorrect. I went to a great record store in Blairsville, Georgia, called Deaf Man Records, and I picked up it was a reissue, but I picked up a mono copy of Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced?
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, great store. Small place, but very what's the word I'm looking for?
Specialized?
No. Curated. Very curated.
Yes.
Smart choices in there, and they had some cool artwork on the wall and stuff. I really dug the store. It was great.
Nice. Awesome. I got some records in the mail the other day, and I finally got I've had this.
Hey.
I've had an OG copy of this, but I didn't have it with the poster and with the merch sheet. So I did. I got it with the poster and the merch sheet. However, I got an addition to this that should not have been there. So this was I don't know if I want to call it a happy accident. I guess it is.
What would be really good is if you took the record out of the jacket and it was the Peter Criss solo album.
Right. Yeah, that would make it so much better. Then I would just burn it. I'd sue whoever sold it to me.
You don't want to hear tossing and turning?
No, I don't. The only tossing and turning I do is in bed, and Jeff will probably have something to say about the tossing. So, all right. So here, this is the album, right?
Yes.
And you got Ace Frehley on there on the label.
Yes.
However,
as you should.
As you should. However,
Paul's on it.
Yeah.
You know, we had to go back. We went back and edited all the labels so that either Paul or myself was on all the solo albums.
Because we were and still are the heartbeat of Kiss.
How about, did you see they added another, they're going to add another 100 dates to their end of the road tour?
They did not say that.
Gene said that.
Really?
Gene said that, yeah.
This is the never-ending road tour.
You have to know when to go out on top, and I believe Kiss is doing that going into the 4th year of the end of the road tour.
Well, speaking of touring, speaking of big news about touring, right? What was just publicized today, Pantera going out on tour.
Did not see that coming. I did not.
Honestly, and I already told you this. I heard about this last week, and I can't get into details, but I will when I'm allowed. And I heard about it last week, and I know about the potential rest of the lineup, and I'm like, people will be happy when they hear it, but it still will catch people off guard, the fact that they're touring at all without either Vinny or Dime.
Absolutely.
So it caught me off guard until I heard who else was going to be playing. I'm like, okay, I feel better. I'm just really curious to see where and how often and what kind of tour it's going to be. Will it be mainly festivals? Will it be, a headlining deal? Like, who knows? It's going to be very, very interesting.
Depending on the lineup, that could go into arenas.
It could, and also depending on who the support acts might be, because there's other bands that retired their main band a couple of years ago that are now getting ready to tour next year as well. That may or may not rhyme with Slayer.
John Mayer.
Let's see. Fingers crossed that Springsteen is on this list. Now, whoever this person is my best friend. Because here's the thing. We're about to get into the This Song Sucks marathon, okay?
Wait, hang on. Before you go any further, I just want to say that I'm very excited that Bruce announced some U.S. tour dates for the first time.
He did.
The first time, by the time he hits the road, it'll be 7 years since the E Street Band and the Boss toured. So
between you and I, that is definitely 7 years too short. And he needed another 7.
Then he'd be again. 80 if he waited another 7 years.
Good. Roll him out in a freaking wheelchair. Be like, well, my car, New Jersey. That would be a better tour for me. My friends yesterday were going nuts. Like, oh, I registered for this show and that show. I'm like, I registered for none, which is the appropriate amount of Springsteen shows I would like to see.
Guess Bruce, how many I registered for, Mike?
All of them.
No, guess. It was an actual number.
8.
5.
I'm surprised it's only 5.
That's just because of the ticket price.
What, $800, bro?
No, it's not that much, but it's not cheap. So multiple shows is hard. But my original plan was to go to 10 before I saw the ticket price.
Oh yeah. Anytime Rush toured, I was like, I'm going to go to the whole tour until I saw ticket price. I was like, well, I can go to 1.
Yeah, right. Maybe 2.
Maybe, and I might be able to buy half a shirt. That'll work out well. But yeah, in this version of This Song Sucks. So let's start to get right into this.
Are we skipping over what we're currently spinning and the being released this week? I mean, we can come back. We can come back to it.
You know what? Let's do this really quick, and then we'll come back. But to talk about this Song Sucks, Nick did not put Springsteen on his list. I'm calling you out, but I'll explain why later. Okay, really quickly, what are you listening to?
The 3 records I've been spinning this week are The Cult Electric. Again, it's recently re-entered my life, and I played it 4 times on Sunday. The Faces, A Nod Is As Good As a Wink, which we discussed a couple weeks ago with the playlist. That's what got me going on that. And then the Alan Parsons Eye in the Sky Mo-Fi. What an amazing sounding record, man. This is if you're an audiophile, if you're just a fan of great sounding vinyl, you need to buy this.
I can only imagine what it sounds like, considering the fact that Alan Parsons basically teaches how to produce, right? With his online, courses. And he was the engineer on, Dark Side of the Moon, amongst other amazing albums.
And Let It Be. You can see him in the footage of Get Back. He's just like some young punk, and you're like, wow, there's Alan Parsons.
Yep. He was ugly then too. Yeah. But man, what a pair of ears on him, And to pair that up with the type of music that the Alan Parsons Project plays, which is more of that like smooth adult contemporary type music. If you haven't heard what they play, match that up with a MoFi version of it, which would be even cleaner than what you would normally hear. I'm sure it's like seamless.
It's amazing. It really is. It's for I think they're like $59, 59 bucks. Regular tag price. Get it while you can, because once this thing's out of print, it's going to be a $300 record. I promise.
Well, as long as you're promising, then boy, I better go out and buy that album.
No, it will be. You'll regret it.
And what did you not get? You didn't get the Jellyfish box set.
No, I did get it.
Oh, you did?
I pulled some strings with some folks that I knew, some people in the Jellyfish camp, and I ended up with a copy. So I'm very excited.
I'm disappointed. I wanted to have something you didn't.
I know. And that was my main drive. Not that they're my favorite band of all time or one of them, but so that you didn't have that over on me. I wanted to make sure I got a copy.
Well, there's a Jellyfish box. Did we even talk about this last week?
No, because
I don't think we talked because it was in between, right? So,
Yep.
So it was a Jellyfish singles box set. And it's all colored vinyl 45s with all singles from their career, basically. And a couple of live songs too, a few live songs and covers that were unreleased. Now, what I had also heard was that they issued some more with an additional song, but it's on black vinyl.
Yes, but I didn't think it had an additional song.
From what I understand, there's an additional song, but
if that's the case, now I got to get that one too.
Well, you might. That way you can have it over on me. That way you win. Okay. So
remastered, although they took the actual tapes and remastered for vinyl, so they should sound great.
Sound great. Yeah. I wish they would just do that with whole albums. And there were only 1,000 of these made, and they're being made in like the Netherlands.
Yeah, and it sold. The whole thing sold out in like 4 hours. It was unbelievable. I couldn't. But when you messaged me and said, or I think I messaged you and said, it's sold out. I can't get one. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, they moved 1,000 of these that fast.
Yeah.
But good. And I hear that the album box is in the works. So
that'd be killer. That'd be great. Speaking of album box sets, I got that Voivod box set coming out this month.
What's that all about? Why don't I know about that?
There's a Voivod box set with Warren Payne, Roar, and
Killing
Technology.
Sweet.
And then then a live album. I think it's like a 5 LP set, and like one album of like demos and outtakes and things like that.
Sweet.
So yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. So that'll really ramp up the rest of my Voivod collection. So that's supposed to be coming out in like maybe next week or the week after or something like that. And looking forward to that. But what else is coming? Oh wait, I didn't tell you what I'm listening to.
Yes.
Right now, honestly, I've been listening to a lot of yacht rock. I'm not kidding. It's really, really weird, like how big of a thing this has become. And 3 times in the past month, I've seen the band Yachtly Crew, so I got to give them a shout out. They're awesome. Tommy and Sailor Hawkins and the guys. Hello, if you're watching. And we'll probably have Tommy Bowie, the guitarist, on the show at some point because he showed interest in wanting to join us and talk vinyl with us. So
Sailor Hawkins,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
There's Pauly Shores, there's Philly Ocean, there's Tommy Bowie and Bob Bowie, and then Stony Shores, and then Matt.
Just Matt.
Yeah, just Matt. I don't think Matt has a name yet. Matt will eventually have a name, or Matt McDonald, Matthew McDonald, I think is what they're calling him, but like Michael McDonald. Anyway, so yeah, I've been listening to a lot of yacht rock and a lot of Judas Priest. I've picked up a bunch of Judas.
Oh,
Priest
those go hand in hand. Why wouldn't
they're
you?
very much the same. So, I when I think of like the Doobie Brothers, I think, wow, another thing. You got another thing coming. I need to put that on right after Taking It to the Streets. So, anyway, give us 3 titles that might be coming out this Friday that people may find interesting.
Okay, for modern music, I know that people are very excited. The new Lizzo album is coming out called Special. There's an indie exclusive as well as a regular black vinyl, so a lot of calls and questions about that. A record I brought up a couple weeks ago that I was currently spinning is being reissued, and that's Entombed's To Ride, Shoot, and Speak the Truth on LP. I think it came out originally in '97. Last record with Nick Anderson. It's a barn burner. It's a great record.
It's a barn burner.
And for the metal fans, we're always talking about archival releases. Kicking off their archival series this week is Death. There's 3 live death records coming out from different eras of the band, 91, 90, and 88. So
wow.
The 91 and 90 are both single LPs, and the 88 is a 2 LP. So Death fans, get ready, because it's called the Non-Analog On Stage series. So probably cassette tapes or something of recordings, but the Death packaging is always great. I think Relapse does it, and they do a great job.
Yeah, the artwork is always interesting on any Death album.
Yeah,
they actually had one of the logos you could read.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever see that meme? It's just like, what's the name of your, like, what's your name of your death metal band? And it's just like a pile of sticks. Like, that's
fantastic.
Pretty much how I feel about most death metal bands. Though I like death metal. It's just like, I want to read your name. I want to know, like,
I wanted to, before we get into this song sucks, can you put Patty's comment up about the Kiss live concerts?
So yeah, and I saw her put that up, and I've seen them.
It's literally
their concerts.
It's unbelievable, this footage that's coming out, and no one knows where it's coming from. I'm pretty sure all this shit was in Gene's vault at some point.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Today, 1974, Kiss at the Michigan Palace, the first time they played in Detroit, opening for Blue Oyster Cult. I mean, this footage, like on an 8mm camera with soundboard audio, I would have never thought that existed. Kiss fans, it's like it's Kissmas in July.
It's Kiss in July. We're changing the holidays. We need to have Christmas twice so we can capitalize
and call it
all your
Kissmas.
Money. We call it Kissmas. We have Kissmas 1 and we have Kissmas 2.
I love it. It's great.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into this thing. All right.
Explain how we're going to do this.
This is how we're going to do this. So this song sucks. Everybody loves the fact that we do this part of the show called This Song Sucks, because all Nick and I do is yell at each other. Predominantly because he's wrong most of the time.
Oh, yeah, and you're always right.
Damn right. And at least in my mind. And what This Song Sucks is songs that suck by bands that don't. Okay? Not every band that we love puts out great songs. Okay? If you feel that every song is awesome by a band you like, you are by far not objective.
Right.
There's if there's a top 10, there's always got to be a bottom 10. Not everything is an A+. Okay.
Yes.
And some are weak. Some are just bad. Okay. And they suck. So the way we're doing this is usually we just pick a song each week, but I gave Nick 8 bands I love and a bonus, and he gave me 8 bands he loves and a bonus. This way we could pick songs by those bands that we feel suck, so we can go toe to toe on this. Now, some of the bands, there was crossover. Okay. I think both you and I gave each other Kiss, Rush,
and our bonus pick,
which was Led Zeppelin. Okay. The other songs are different. The other bands are different. So what we're going to do is what I think we should do. And by the way, if you have songs that by these bands that we're talking about that you think suck, put them in the chat. We'll address it too. But this is all of these. I didn't put them on the playlist yet. After the show, I'm going to put all these on the Spotify playlist that we have called This Song Sucks. And I'll post it in the comments and in the description when we're done with the show. And that way you can have the worst playlist possible to listen to. Because, yeah. Oh, by the way, before anything else, just want to make sure that y'all know that Instagram, we are at Cover2, the number 2, Covered. On Facebook, we are at Cover2Covered, the words Cover2Covered. And then www.cover2covered.com. And then we also have info@cover2covered.com if you have ideas for shows and things of that nature. So, with all that said, Nick, I think we should start this by discussing the songs by bands that we both picked.
Okay.
I think that would be the smart thing to do. I'm going to let you go first, but I think the first one we should do is Kiss
Okay.
because we are on the topic.
Okay.
So we may as well. So again, we both picked these bands for each other, but they're bands that we love. And again, Nick chickened out by not giving me Bruce Springsteen because he's like, no, I love all the songs. They're great.
That's not true. The first episode of this we ever did, I picked a Bruce Springsteen song as this song sucks. So that's
to try
not
to get it out of the way. You were like being like, oh, I'm magnanimous. Look at me picking this. Hey, I picked a Bruce song.
The rules of this are still a little bit restricting.
How are they restricting?
Because you don't like Bruce Springsteen. So why would I give you Bruce Springsteen? The idea is bands that are normally great, that this song sucks. You think all of his songs
Bruce
suck.
is great.
Yes.
I don't think all of his songs suck. That was me just getting your dander up. But there are Bruce songs that suck.
Yeah, like Human Touch, which is what I picked.
Like that whole album.
Yes, I would agree.
And Tunnel of Love.
Oh, come on. Tunnel of Love's all right.
But Tunnel of Love. But anyway, first band.
Kiss. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of ways you can go. There's a lot of places you can go with Kiss.
Yes.
There's usually at least one terrible Kiss song on every record, except for maybe like their first 3 records. But this one, I thought long and hard about this. And yes, I did just say long and hard.
Oh, yes, you did.
I thought long and hard on this because I wanted to make sure that I was confident in my choice of Kiss song that sucked. And when I really thought about it, there was only one to pick.
Uh-oh.
And that is available only on Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. The track recorded specifically for that. Well, there's 2 tracks recorded for it, and you could really pick either one. But I went with You Make Me Rock Hard.
I can't even argue.
It's a terrible song. Paul Stanley's singing at the absolute top of his range like he did in the late 80s, where he just sounds like he's being strangled, like you're strangling a cat. It's a complete product of its environment and time, just very bad 80s lyrics and not good. It's a song Kiss won't even acknowledge exists. And Bruce Kulick, shout out to Bruce Kulick, he even once remarked in the Kiss Behind the Mask book, where they went song by song for every album, he once remarked, this is not a song to be proud of. And he's not, obviously. No.
And so he's like, yeah, I'm not proud of this. Watch me go.
And the pun in the title is just terrible. You make me rock hard. Get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it, Mike?
I do. I get rock hard for you.
Jesus.
I didn't. No, and not for him. No, I don't have a love affair with Jesus. It's.
But there's so many honorable mentions. I don't know what you picked, but
no. Let's stop right there. Let me do my pick, and then we can go through the dozens of honorable mentions. I went with something that we had actually talked about before, and it's not good, and it's on Psycho Circus. Their comeback album is all 4 members. Yeah, no, sort of. Like 1.5 songs had all 4 members on it. And there was a couple of ones to pick on this one. There was, well, we'll go through the honorable mentions in a minute. But I went with, and we talked about this song before, Raise Your Glasses. That song is just, why?
It's very bad.
It's very bad. It's so not Kiss in any way, shape, or form. It's not good. And now look, I even thought, and most of these bands that you gave me to choose, I picked songs from albums that were more mainstream, that were more popular, with how many bad Kiss songs there are out there, I couldn't pick just one. Like I could have picked Sweet Pain from Destroyer.
Oh, I love Sweet Pain.
See that this is, but
no
Sweet
way.
Pain, no.
No, see, had you said like, it's a terrible song, Silver Spoon from Hot in the Shade, that is a bad song.
Most of Hot in the Shade is bad. And I picked a song from Hot in the Shade another week, the Cadillac Dreams or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Terrible song by Gene. Terrible. Gene Simmons just like, you obviously knew like, I'd rather be acting than singing and writing songs. during that whole period. And Raise Your Glasses, it's just bad. It's just bad. It's like a very like, it sounds like Raise Your Glasses, Toast Us.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very self-serving song.
It's very motivational. Motivational Paul Stanley.
Oh, wait. Patty made a typo, but that makes it funnier. There's too many kids songs to choose from.
How about Paul
Paul
McCartney? Paul McCartney said that's one of the best songs they ever recorded.
Because he's Gall McCartney. So, you know.
Well, just to touch on your point real quick, because we could stay on Kiss for an hour, but like,
yeah, we can.
Just to touch on your point about, it's the album with the original four guys. If you listen closely, specific to Raise Your Glasses, you can hear Eric Singer singing all the backup vocals behind Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, like, there's nobody in that band except for Paul McCartney on most of that album. Paul Stanley on most of that album. You know, it was mainly Paul Stanley, a little bit of Gene, 1.5 songs by Ace, and like half a song by Peter.
Yeah, like Bruce Kulick plays bass on the title track on Psycho Circus. Yeah,
on Psycho Circus. Tommy Thayer didn't even play on most of those songs. It was like No, Tommy Thayer played on some of the songs. He played bass on some of the songs too. And then who played drums?
I think Eric Singer, except for Into the Void, which is Peter.
Into the Void is Peter. But anyway, bottom line is on that album, it's like the 4 original members, and there's nothing original about it, really. Except for Into the Void, which is probably the best song on that album, besides the title track.
And Dreamin'.
I don't even like that one.
No.
But those, anyway. There's just so many bad Kiss songs to choose, and as much as I like them, I don't love Kiss. I like Kiss.
I love Kiss.
I know you love Kiss. I love certain things about Kiss. I don't like much of the 80s with Kiss, going back to your choice from Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. Trashes and Hits.
And I could have, the 2 tracks recorded for that album were this one, You Make Me Rock Hard, and Let's Put the X in Sex, which is also awful.
Actually, I don't mind that one quite as much.
Well, put it up against You Make Me Rock Hard, and you'll definitely think it's a great song.
Yeah, most things next to You Make Me Rock Hard. But I mean, there was like, all night, like I was going to choose that one.
That's a good choice.
You know, I didn't go there because I'm like, well, that would just be way too easy. So I decided just to go a little deeper, but still. Anyway, all right.
How about these lyrics? Hot lover, turn up the heat. I want your sugar, girl. Your love tastes so sweet. I feel a fire burning under me. I've got a hunger that your love's gotta feed.
Well, now that I feel a little creeped out because it sounds like you were saying that to me, we can move on.
Okay.
All right. Next up that we both picked was Rush. Now, Rush is my favorite band. And even I have to admit, there's like a dozen songs that if I never heard them again, my listening patterns wouldn't change.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I went with this one. I have 2 choices actually, because just in case, we needed a bonus. From Hold Your Fire. Now, Hold Your Fire, this album came out in 1986, 87. It was my first Rush concert, December of the year that it came out. And I snuck backstage. I got to meet Geddy Lee. All right. So for me, for the longest time, this album was great, except I only listened to like the first 4 songs. And there was a reason for that. Because kind of like Pancakes, they're sort of like, as Mitch Hedberg said, they're great right at the beginning, but by the time you get to the end, you're kind of sick of them.
Yeah.
That's Hold Your Fire. Except the sickness happens pretty fast after the first 2 songs.
Can I guess what song you picked?
No, I'm just going to say it, and you can tell me if you guessed right.
Okay.
My choice from Hold Your Fire by Rush is a song called Tai Shan.
Oh, no, that wasn't what I was going to guess.
It is not good. It is not good. It's like this Japanese tinged atmospheric song. I don't even know. I just can't. I just can't. I can't with that song, like at all. And I'm sorry now, Getty, Alex. I know you're watching.
Getty is watching since I know him. We're on a first name basis, Getty.
And Alex and I never met, and that's how we don't know each other. So, so since they're both watching, but with their eyes closed and not watching this, they're watching something else. But we're saying it's this. They're more than welcome to come on and defend Taishan. You know, go ahead.
But would they? But would they? That's the thing.
Doubtful. So yeah, that song is that song. Now, previously I'd picked Virtuality by them. Terrible song. And then also in one of the first incarnation of Cover to Covered, I went with Red Lenses, which is basically everything rhyming with the word red.
So when you said it was off Hold Your Fire, I thought you were going to say the song that I almost picked, which is Mission.
No, Mission's okay.
I don't like it.
You don't have to like it, but it's better than Taishan.
Well, maybe it is, because I can't say I've spent a whole lot of time with Hold Your Fire by Rush.
Yeah. I just got the 200-gram reissue recently, and it was sealed, and I opened it, and I don't know why.
You instantly regretted that choice.
I was like, wow, all right, I listened to Force 10 and Time Stand Still, and now I put it away. That's it.
So my Rush pick, I know you're going to, I don't think you're going to be happy with this choice.
Here we go.
All right. So from Power Windows, The Big Money.
No, you're wrong.
I hate it.
No,
I've always hated. Let me explain. Let me give you my reasons, and then you can fight me on it.
Kind of don't care.
I've always hated the 80s production of that song. That's what made me decide I wasn't that into 80s Rush. Getty's bass tone, it sounds like he's playing through a blown speaker at points. Like in the verse, there's all these like flat, really bad sounding, like the bass playing, of course, is amazing, but how it sounds is awful. And I also despise the drum sound. It's why do we have the arguably the greatest technical drummer of all time using triggers? I've never liked digital synthesized Rush. And I know that there's great moments in it, but that's not one of them, in my opinion.
You could have picked other songs on that album, like that would have fit way better. Like I think Mystic Rhythms would have been.
Yeah, not a fan of that one either. But I hate The Big Money. Sorry.
Just no.
That song sucks. That song sucks.
A little bit about that era of Rush, and here's where the irony really comes in. Power Windows and Hold Your Fire, I believe both of those were produced by Peter Collins. Peter Collins produced Operation Mindcrime.
Well, he did a better job with Queensryche than he did with Rush then.
Same era. Like,
I know, but
how did that happen?
Yeah.
You know? How did that happen?
Well, it's like Ted Templeman doing Fair Warning and Minute by Minute at the same time.
I guess, but, you know, whatever. All right. So, we're going to get to our bonus pick later. That's the third band that we co-chose.
Yes.
But now it's your turn to pick a band that I sent to you so we could fight about this.
Okay, so I'm picking one of the songs I hated, right?
Yes.
That's where we're at?
Yes.
All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to go. How about Foo Fighters?
All right, let's go Foo Fighters. This is a band that I chose for him to pick a song that he felt sucked.
Yes. And this was kind of a difficult one because I've always dug the Foo Fighters. They're not one of my favorite bands where I'm listening to them all the time, but I do love them. But when I started looking at my record collection, there was a glowing pick for me from There Is Nothing Left to Lose.
Okay.
The song Next Year.
Why?
Boring.
Why? It may not be their biggest rocker, but it's a great tune.
No, it's not. Dave says I'll be coming home next year. It seems like 100 times. And at one point the song has a stop in it and you think, okay, thank God that's over. And then there's a great Taylor Hawkins drum fill. And then they just say, I'll be coming home next year for another minute and a half.
I think Dave actually played drums on that.
Okay, well, whoever played drums on it has a great drum fill in that break. That's the best part of the song. Yeah. That song sucks. It is not a good song.
No, you're wrong because that song is actually a really cool tune. It's well written. It obviously was a huge hit. It was all over TV. It's in every freaking prom.
Yeah, it's as good as Learn to Fly for sure, which it follows.
No, I'm not saying it's better than Learn to Fly. Learn to Fly is better. Breakout is better.
Yeah.
Stacked Actors is better. All those songs on that album that I just named are better than Next Year. But that doesn't mean that Next Year is bad.
Next Year is bad. What would you have picked then? You didn't get the Foo Fighters, but what would you have picked?
Probably something from Minutes After Midnight. Or like The Sky is a Neighborhood. I'm not a big fan of some of the newer Foo Fighters stuff. It's just sort of like
I like that they get vibey now. Like they just jam on shit for a while now.
Yeah, see, look, Patty's smart. Patty said, I don't like Nick anymore.
Sorry. I mean, it's a fact. That song sucks.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
All right. My turn. Dick. You picked Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Now, my thoughts on this were, again, like I mentioned near the top, I had to pick songs from albums that did well because, I could have picked anything off of New Tattoo and it would be like beating a weak kid. Like it's just too easy because that whole
Punched in the
sucks.
Teeth by Love.
Yeah, just nothing good came out of anything after, Neil left the first time, after Vince Neil left or was fired or whatever you want to call it.
Nothing really good came out after Shout at the Devil, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Other than the Karabi record.
Very true. But the Karabi record is questionable at best. It's like one good song and like a bunch of other things you never heard of. So anyway, I went with something from Theater of Pain. And I went with Louder Than Hell.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to pick All in the Name of Rock.
No.
But Louder Than Hell is bad too.
Louder Than Hell is bad. And it's just like, all he says is, Louder Than Hell, like a lot. And then he has like one big scream at the end of a chorus. And like the song doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up. It's just like, yeah, we're metal. And then we have these soft verses and then like a bridge that goes nowhere. And then loud, hell. Shut up. Song sucks. It's terrible. Most of that album sucks, except for Home Sweet Home and Smoking in the Boys' Room.
And think about that, because both of those songs, their version of Smoking in the Boys' Room is horrible. And
no, I like their version of Smoking.
No, it's bad. And fucking Home Sweet Home, okay, it's good for a power ballad. But when you're saying that those two songs are the shining stars of the record, no. All in the Name of Rock is terrible.
I think Mark wants me to repeat. Loud.
That's not even Mike. That's an actual audio track of Vince Neil in Detroit the other night.
Yeah, really. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Except he'd be breathing heavy in between each syllable.
This song sucks, Motley Crue edition. It's just whatever they're playing right this minute.
Right then. Yeah. Well, this song sucks. Every Motley Crue song done live where Vince Neil attempts to sing. The dude's winded walking on stage. I think when he takes a dump, he almost passes out.
You know what else would have been a bad?
I need some toilet paper.
I was hoping that we were going to share all the bands because my pick for Motley Crue was definitely going to be Saints of Los Angeles.
We are. The Saints. Wouldn't it be great if like Dave Mustaine wound up being the singer of Motley Crue at some point?
In the bathroom.
It would be kind of very close. It'd be really, really close.
I'm just picturing Dave Mustaine all hunched over with his flying V singing Motley Crue.
Yeah, I'm sitting crying. Always ignoring somebody getting paid.
That's what
that's
it would
great.
be. That's exactly what it would be. But that would be two guitarists that are hunched over because Dave has no neck and Mick Mars has no body.
He's literally a corpse. He died.
truly
He
is.
died in like 98. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
he's actually older than Keith Richards, and that's hard to do.
Keith has better mobility than Mick Mars does. I mean, that's pretty
That's
crazy
saying
to
a lot.
say.
That
It is.
nuts. That is nuts. All right, you're up.
Okay, so this one I'm gonna go for this because you're definitely gonna fight me on this. But before I even say the song, you gave me this band. I'm not super familiar with the band's entire catalog, so I don't feel I can make an educated call on this one. And we've talked about this before. Of course, Dennis says the Grateful Dead has a lot of songs that suck.
Because he's right, and
Yeah.
he's my best friend.
I'm telling you, the two of you would get along very well. I know
Oh, I'm
both of
sure.
you very well, but so the band is Faith No More. And I had a really hard time. So I just had to go back in my brain and I picked this song because I had a friend in high school that played this song for everyone constantly because he loved how the time signatures were all over the place. I'm not super into stuff like that. I like my prog stuff like Rush, but it's very Rush is very on the money. It's not spastic.
Is it
So-
on the big money?
Yeah, it's on the big money. So I've always hated the all over the place vibe of what it sounds like where everybody's playing something else. So from the real thing, I picked Surprise You're Dead.
That's an interesting call. I don't agree with you. Because I mean first of all, it's probably the heaviest track on the album. And it's got a really decent, thrashy kind of, riff to it, though it's proggy. It's a prog thrash riff, if you will. A little off time signature there. But why did you choose that one? Just because your friend played it a lot?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a ton of knowledge of Faith No More where I feel like I can go, well, I've listened to all these records and I know that song sucks. You know what I'm saying? I guess I could have picked Epic because I don't like that song either.
And I would have punched you in the taint.
Yeah, but I really don't know a lot about Faith No More, so it's hard for me to make an educated guess. So I just went back in my head and picked that song because it used to annoy the fuck out of me.
From that album, there's very little on that album I don't like. I mean, that album is, front to back, one of the, it's complete. But if I was to pick one track from that album, it would be Woodpecker from Mars, which is like an instrumental. And it's just sort of like the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So all right, well, this song, I mean, it may not suck, but it really isn't good. Because it just kind of goes on and on in 8 minutes of the same riff.
Yeah,
it's kind of
see,
like listening to
hate-
like a rap rock version of Sleep.
Yeah, I hate that. I should have picked that. See, had I taken a day to listen to all their records, I probably would have ended up there.
Yeah, probably. All right. You chose The Police.
Yes.
This was not hard, and it was hard. The reason why it wasn't hard, because the first thing that came to my mind is Mother, which is one of the worst songs of all time. However, I've brought up Mother about 5,000 times before on previous podcasts, and it was probably the first This Song Sucks entry, which, by the way, This Song Sucks, this whole thing is dedicated to Mike Tobin, who's my right-hand man at work. He's the one that came up with this segment 2 years ago.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, so this is all about him, and it's a tribute to him every time I do it. Mike's awesome.
Did I meet Mike at NAMM?
You may have.
I think I met Mike at the Hilton.
You had to have at some
Or
point.
the Marriott,
Well,
I mean.
Marriott, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mike brought up Mother initially, and it brought up bad things in me when he did, because I forgot about that song, and then he mentioned it, and then I remembered it. And Mother is terrible.
It's awful.
It's awful. But I can't say that because we're both in full agreement, and it's been overdone, and it's probably the reason why This Song Sucks exists. So I went with another one.
Okay.
I went with Murder by Numbers.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
No, you're
absolutely.
wrong. You're
No.
completely wrong on
No.
that.
Why? What is redeeming about that song? That sounds like Sting like rammed that song down their throat. They didn't want to play it. They did it anyway. It sounds like a filler track on a great album.
No, I disagree completely.
Ugh.
Stuart Copeland drumming on that, how the tempo changes and it's got that feel happening. I totally disagree with that. No way would I have picked Murder by Numbers.
Well, fine. This is my part. I picked it. You can suck an egg.
I would have picked like do 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 da da da.
No, that song is great.
You like that better than Murder by Numbers?
Yes, 100%.
You're out of your fucking mind. No way.
Listen, I love that song. Yeah, I love that song.
No way. Murder by Numbers is fucking great.
No, it's not. It's just
No, it's not.
It's
Look,
not.
you got put up. You're always throwing me under the bus. Put up some of these
we're
comments of
getting
people
boo,
getting
Mike,
mad.
Boo.
Yeah, people
We're
do-
getting, I'm
they're-
wrong.
You
and then
are
we get
wrong.
This one, okay, Mike, quit sniffing the butt cracks. So you know what? Fine, call me a butt crack sniffer. I don't like that song. I think it sucks.
You're out of your mind. That is
Yeah.
like way wrong.
Okay. This episode's getting better.
It is. It is.
All
That shocks me that you picked Murder by Numbers because that's such a celebrated Police track. It's crazy
Celebrated
that
by who? I never went to that party.
by Police fans. Look, clearly there's 5 people here that agree with me.
Yeah, they're all wrong.
Everyone's wrong.
Everybody's wrong.
All right,
right.
let's move on because we're not going to solve that one.
You think Patty's pissed off now? Wait till I get to Def Leppard.
So you selected Stone Temple Pilots, which this was a difficult one.
It was a difficult one for me to think of too. That's why I put it on there. I'm like, man, and the thing is, again, I was thinking everything with Scott.
Yes, yeah. I took it as
after
that.
Scott, none of the Chester singles or the new guy or what have you.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So this was a hard one for me because I've always been a fan of STP. Core, Purple, and Tiny Music are all great records.
and even number 4.
And even number 4, but specifically the first 3 are all great.
Yeah.
But again, I wanted to go mainstream because when I looked at the track listing and I thought, okay, which of these songs could I live without? And I picked from Core, Creep.
I can't even with you.
I've never liked that song. It's so fucking depressing. What's always blown my mind about it is how the drummer manages to play so slow. That song feels like an eternity.
It's a great song, and you're wrong. Oh my
Okay,
God,
so
you're so
what-
fantastically wrong.
What would you have picked?
I
You
would've gone
picked
with, like,
Murder by
Kitchenware-
Numbers.
Yeah, I would have went with like kitchenware and candy bars. I actually would have picked on that album. I would have picked Sex Type Thing over.
No way. Sex Type Things. That's a great song. Overplayed, yes, but it's a great song.
I'm sick of it. It sucks now.
Okay, well, you could be sick of it. That doesn't like Sweet Home Alabama. I'm totally sick of, but that song doesn't suck. Creep, I've never liked. Sorry, I would definitely not pick Sex Type Thing.
All right. Well, then I'm right on Murder by Numbers.
No, you're not.
Well, you're wrong on Creep then.
Okay, I'll be wrong if that's what the deciding factor is.
Moving on. There we go. You chose Cheap Trick.
And you
Now,
can't
again-
pick Gonna Raise Hell again.
Again, I can't pick Gonna Raise Hell again, and because that song really does suck. It's 9 minutes of nonsense.
No, it doesn't.
It's 9 minutes of nonsense.
That song's great too.
I picked another song that's less minutes of nonsense, but nonsense nonetheless, because the song actually really does go nowhere. I went with You're All Talk from In Color. And that's because that's sort of like a disco-y kind of beat. The song really does go nowhere. It's not long, but it's just boring, and they're better than that. and it just sounds like it's a filler tune. Like, all right, well, we need.
I'll agree. I'll agree. It goes nowhere, but it's really hard to pick something off In Color as a song that sucks.
Of all the songs on In Color, that is definitely that one sucks.
That's probably the weakest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just don't like it. Like, it's the one that I skip over. It's just, it doesn't need to be there. They could have left it off the album, and the album would have been better. That's the way I feel about it.
Even though that record's like that record's like 29 minutes long, so if they had left it off the record, it'd be considered an EP.
Well, essentially, yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's why it's still on there, because like they probably had to put it in for contractual reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like that song, man. I think that song pretty much sucks. It's not a good Cheap Trick song. There's so much better than that.
I can't fight you on that. I'm surprised it's coming off In Color when there's other Cheap Trick records. Like,
well, again, what am I going to pick? Something off Busted?
What about something off or what about their cover of All Shook Up? That's not good.
Can't do that either. I mean, because again, it's not their song.
Yeah, but their version of it sucks.
I don't think it sucks. I think it's okay.
No,
I bet you don't like Don't Be Cruel either.
Actually, to be fair, dude, that's actually what I was trying to think of was their cover of Don't Be Cruel.
See, I like their cover of Don't Be Cruel. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, their version of All Shook Up isn't that bad. It was Don't Be Cruel that I was thinking of. Oh, that's funny.
Well, anyway.
Looking at my list of things that you gave me, I really got screwed here because you gave me a couple of bands where it's like, it's hard to say anything sucks, which I think you did on purpose.
Hey, look at this. Look.
Only one person out of everybody.
Yeah, but not everybody in the world has listened to this podcast yet. But MB Dolan agrees with me that Murder by Numbers bites.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't know who MB Dolan is, but I disagree.
I don't either, and I kind of don't care. They're my best friend now.
All right, so as I was saying, you gave me, there's two more bands that you gave me that it's really hard to pick a tune.
Well, I'm sorry.
So you gave me Pantera. Now, I don't know how you pick a Pantera song and don't get torn to shreds, so I'm sure I'm going to get torn to shreds on this. But again, this is one of those things like I was saying about the Foo Fighters. When I went and looked at all the records, all the track listings and everything, one stuck out to me, and that's From Far Beyond Driven, Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills.
See, now that I can understand why you would pick that. All right. I understand because it's not a traditional song and it is silly.
It's a waste of a track.
It's fun.
It's a waste of a track. Phil rambling and screaming, and it sounds like the band's rehearsing in the background. Like, why is that? I can't believe that was on a #1 record. It's nuts.
You know what? I'm gonna let you keep that one. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that because I don't want to fight over that.
Well, I don't think
it's not the hill I'm gonna die on.
I don't think you can die on that hill because had I said something like, Drag the Waters or something, then that would be something to fight about. But
yeah, you would have been anally probed.
Except, but I would never say that because that doesn't suck. This sucks.
Fine. Great. I have 3 more of your bands here. Def Leppard is up next. Now, here's where Patty is starting to brace herself and get angry. But she has to agree with me on this one, okay? And again, I didn't pick anything from Slang or X or, any of the newer, not quite as successful albums because, they weren't necessarily non-commercial. They're just not as accessible for a lot of people, and they probably don't know what those albums are. But I did go all the way back. And I went to, On Through the Night.
Oh, wow.
And there's a reason why I picked this one. And it could be you from On Through the Night. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know that album by Def Leppard, it was their first album, and it really does have that new wave of British heavy metal influence. This particular song has all of that influence. It has every stereotype from all the new wave of British heavy metal bands all in one song, and it doesn't work. The solo's okay, But even Joe Elliott sounds like he's got a weak voice on that song. It doesn't sound like his heart's even in it. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And it's the song sucks. I like for everything else that's on that album, like, Hello America and everything else that's on that album.
Rock Brigade.
Rock Brigade, Wasted, like all these great songs that are on there. This song sticks out like a sore thumb. That song sucks.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going on that album, I would have said Gods of War from Hysteria.
That one's like, but on Hysteria, though, next to everything else on that album, any other song would suck. I mean, Gods of War is probably the worst song on that album. And if you put it on another album, it's like the third best song. It's kind of tough to measure anything else against anything on Hysteria because that album's so complete. So I don't necessarily disagree with your choice on that one, but I mean, this song is definitely worse than Gods of War. By the way, this is funny. Dennis Smith says Bruce Springsteen coming to town really sucks too. So, and yeah, Patty's like, which song? It Could Be You
from On Through the Night.
Now she is the queen of all that is Def Leppard. So the fact that she's asking makes me think, does she really not know? Does she really not know? Is it just a facade?
Well, she probably didn't hear you because you streamlined right into the song. I had to think about which tune you were talking about. So maybe she just missed it.
Fine. Well, it's your turn anyway.
Okay, so for another band that it's literally impossible to pick a song that sucks, you gave me Slayer.
Look.
Oh,
she agrees. All right.
Wow.
That means I hit it on the head.
That didn't go as planned then.
No, I thought I was gonna be like eating my own ball sack.
Paul McCartney says their best song is When Love and Hate Collide.
And he's not wrong, except when he is, like now. So, continue.
So you gave me Slayer.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's so not cool. How could you give me, so it's like giving me Motorhead.
I gave you bands that I love.
It's very hard to pick a Slayer tune. So I went through and I was listening I'm listening to Slayer all the time. So I didn't go classic Slayer because you literally can't pick anything. I don't think you can. I mean, I don't think you can pick anything from Show No Mercy through Seasons. There's nothing on any of those records that I would pick to say sucks. So what I did pick was Eyes of the Insane from Christ Illusion.
Interesting choice.
I like I said, I had a hard time with this one in general just because it's Slayer, but this one's always fallen flat for me. Really not good guitar playing going on, and the riffs and the lyrics remind me of Saint Anger era Metallica, so that's why I'll say it sucks. And Mike's on the phone right now texting Kerry King, letting him know that I just said this song.
Yeah, Kerry, I can't believe Nick said he hates this song. Oh, he wrote back, go to hell. Oh, okay.
Is something he would say too.
No, the one song that I definitely would have picked that immediately, and I had to remember the exact name of the song because I forget the exact name because it sucks. It's a song called Desire, and it's on Diabolus and Musica. And it's a Tom Araya, of course, wrote the lyrics, and it's like a love song. I think that was the last song that Tom was ever allowed to write.
Which is funny because I mean, you know all those guys, and I've met them all a handful of times. And when you meet Tom, he's so not how you would think he would be. He's like the nicest, sweetest guy that one of the nicest like rock stars I've ever met. So I can picture him writing a song like that.
He's one of the biggest stoners on the planet.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, all those guys in Slayer, all they do all coke and no,
like not
Kerry
Tom.
Never did drugs. He drinks. Tom smokes weed like there's gonna be none left on the planet.
I walked in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was with Bob. Our good friend Bob Tyrell, and we were backstage. We were looking for Gary Holt, and we went into this room. It said Slayer dressing room because Gary told us, "Well, just come to the dressing room." And of course, with Bob, it was fine. And we opened the door because it said Slayer dressing room, and Tom Araya was in there just burning a doobie, watching Family Guy. And we're like, and Bob's like, "Oh, Tom, I'm sorry, bro." And he looks at us all pie-eyed, and he's like, "Oh, it's cool, man." And I was like, "Yeah, right on."
There we go. Shooting down everybody's image of these like crazy thrash bands. All right, Roger, shut up, buddy. I love you. Shut up. Okay. So, Jimi Hendrix. This was tough.
It is tough.
This was tough. But it wasn't that hard. All right. My mind went one direction, not the band, and landed very close to where my initial direction was. I went with, have you ever been to Electric Ladyland?
No way.
You know what, man? Fuck that song. It's just so not Hendrixy. Like, it's this psychedelic light cloud floaty thing. Like, just screw that song.
No way. In headphones, that is a prime example of why you listen to vinyl. That song is a great representation of Hendrix at his most out there.
Let's call it a feat of production. The song sucks. The content of the song, the music in the song sucks.
Well, I'm not agreeing with you on that. Sorry. No way.
All right, you could be wrong like you often are.
No, you're wrong on this one.
How am I wrong?
Look, even Dennis Smith said wow, and he would agree with 9 out of 10 things you say.
Dennis was saying wow because he was just saying wow how much Bruce Springsteen sucks. He's like, wow, I can't believe.
Well, he'll tell you that Bruce Springsteen sucks. No,
that's
but
what he said. Like he sucks so much that even he's mystified.
No, that's not the case because Dennis is a huge Hendrix fan, and I know he's saying wow because he can't believe you picked that.
Well, what else should I have picked?
I don't know.
Machine Gun?
No way.
All right, so there you go.
Maybe like I don't know. Yeah, what it's else? A hard one. That's why I gave it to you. I don't know.
Like
you
one of those throwaway tracks
you didn't have
on like Axis Bold as Love.
I'm not answering this for you. You made me pick Slayer, so you can live on the Hendrix
And
mount.
I did. I picked a song and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I disagree.
Nah. You go.
All right. So I saved what I thought was the best for last. And the last band, other than our bonus pick that we both have, the last band you picked for me is Van Halen.
Yeah.
And this song is not just the worst Van Halen song ever, but it's a contender for the worst song ever, period.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knew go ahead.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to pick. No, I'm just going to sit here.
Who knew Getting Back with Sammy Hagar would be so bad?
I knew you were going to pick this song.
And the answer is Up for Breakfast. The biggest steaming pile of shit next to anything in the Steve Miller catalog, of course. But this song for Van Halen is god awful. There is nothing redeeming about this song. The lyrics are a fucking joke. Everything about this song sucks. Listen to the lyrics. She put the cream in my coffee first thing in the morning, spread the butter on my biscuit, honey to my melon. Woo, put berries on bananas. I need a second helping. That's why I'm up for breakfast so early in the morning. Is he fucking serious? Like that's what Van Halen with their more successful singer, that's what they put together for their reunion. That tune.
I don't disagree with you. I have no argument. But that was from the Best of Both Worlds greatest hits album. It's one of the extra songs, right?
Yes.
Yep. The other one I brought up as being the other extra song on there is called It's About Time. And I brought that up for the playlist. That song kicks ass. But Up for Breakfast, should kick rocks.
It's one of it's seriously. I'm not just trying to be funny or exaggerating.
No.
That song sucks complete ass.
I don't know about worst of all time besides Steve Miller, as you put it. There are definitely Mother is worse.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because Mother at least is like some bizarre experimental shit. That's Van Halen trying to be Van Halen. Like that's just bad Van Halen.
Bad Halen.
Bad Halen. It's horrible. And that's I just
bad. You're bad Halen.
I just can't believe with all the success that those guys had together. And I've said before, we've both said before on this show, we're Dave people. I'm a David Lee Roth 100%, guy. 100%. But I won't slight the good Sammy stuff that was successful and people. I know there's a ton of people that love that, and that's fine.
I hate Dreams though.
I hate Dreams, but Up for Breakfast makes Dreams seem like I'm the one or something. It's Up for Breakfast is seriously one of the worst fucking songs ever.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue with you on that one. You win. You win that round, 100%. All right. Your last pick was Judas Priest.
Yes.
Now, I've been listening to more Judas Priest recently, as I mentioned, and I'm still not a tremendous Priest fan. I mean, I like certain things more than others. Like Painkiller is still to me like a bulletproof album. Like that album is great. You know, like the early 90s were just so great for metal, between that and Rust in Peace and the Black Album, and or half the Black Album.
Cowboys from Hell.
Cowboys from Hell.
Seasons in the Abyss.
Angel Dust. Like all these great albums came out like right around 90, 91, 92. They're all great albums. But Judas Priest has a wide selection of music. So trying to find a song that would fit, there are other songs that I think that are actually worse than this song, but this song does suck. And it's within a particular context. It's from the Turbo album. And I went with Rock You All Around the World.
Yes.
All right. Because, and a lot of people will probably disagree with it. Why? Because it's a commercial song, but that's exactly why it sucks. You already had Turbo Lover. I'm sorry. You had Turbo Lover and Parental Guidance, both on the same album side. And then Parental Guidance is followed up by Rock You All Around the World. Now you're just trying way too hard. Way too hard. It was way too formulaic. And rock you all around the world. We're going to rock you. We're going to rock. Like, this is not Judas Priest.
No, it's terrible.
This is so bad. And, like, I happen to like Turbo Lover. I happen to like Parental Guidance. Rip me a new one for those. I
love Turbo Lover. It's totally a guilty pleasure song.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they're kind of cool in their own way. You got to look at it, and it's like, all right, if you're going to listen to commercial Judas Priest, that's cool. But then, like, I think Parental Guidance is like a little
I hate
kitschy.
Parental Guidance.
It's a little kitschy, but it's a cool live tune, But Rock You All Around the World? That song sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
That song is just not good. Not good. So that's my pick. And that sums up our main picks. Our top, well, not top. We never do a top anything list. But those are our 8 bands that we each chose for each other to pick. If you have any picks that you want to put, somebody actually wrote like 27 picks on your Facebook.
It was
page.
Dean. It was our friend Dean.
Who's not even here.
He had a lot of good suggestions. I think he's playing a gig. I think that's why he's not here.
That's fair. But he had most of the songs that he had on there. He just seemed very angry because he put the word "fucking" in every title, and it was just very, very angry.
I agreed with every song he had except for St. Elmo's Fire. I love that tune.
Well, he also had Tai Shan.
Yeah, he did. So. He's a huge Rush fan too, so that makes sense.
And what do you have? Something pineapple, apple, pen, pineapple, apple, pen, or whatever that stupid. Anyway, he was right on that, but that's like an internet viral thing. All right, so now we had one bonus pick each, and we both picked Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And let's see if we both landed on the same song.
Okay.
Because this song sucks. All right. There are not many Led Zeppelin songs that suck.
And before you say it, I want to tell you that I didn't pick the song you had originally put on your This Song Sucks playlist. So if that's what you picked, we don't
Nope.
have the same song. Okay.
Nope. Originally on the playlist, there's Hot Dog and I think Candy Store Rock. I think those are both on the playlist. But I went with from Led Zeppelin 3.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hats off to Roy Harper.
No.
This is just a drug-soaked, nonsensical song that just eats up room and keeps you away from listening to Out on the Tiles, which is a great song. But like, hats off. What is going on with that song?
But
Like,
it's on
bad
Led Zeppelin
slide
3.
playing.
Oh, you can't. No, you
There
can't
are
pick
so
anything
many
off
other
Zeppelin
great songs
3.
off 3. There's Tangerine. There's Brunneraya Stump. There's the Immigrant song. Just Gallows Pole. Like
Friends.
there's so many other Friends. So many other great songs Out on the Tile. So many other great songs on that album. And then there's this hats off to Roy Harper nonsense. That just why? And what does Roy Harper have anything to do with it?
Well, he sang. Okay, so here's the thing. Apparently, if you're in an English rock band, you love Roy Harper because they had that song "Hats Off to Roy Harper," and then he's the one that sings "Have a Cigar" on "Wish You Were Here" is Roy Harper. So, like, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin are fucking kissing this guy's ass. So he's got to be great.
Yeah, I guess, except for the fact that I don't give a shit because the song sucks.
Paul McCartney says, "I'm telling Roy Harper."
Well, you tell Roy Harper and you tell him to get his slide and his hat because his hat's off to him. So, like, give him a hat, put a hat on
And
him.
a
Be
cigar.
like, yeah, and here's a hat and a cigar. And go bite a pillow.
Okay, so I can't agree with anything on Led Zeppelin 3. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. It is,
Fine.
I'll give you this. It is the weakest song on Zeppelin 3, but it's still part of the whole overall vibe of Led Zeppelin 3. So I'm not
Still sucks.
nope, I disagree.
Yes, it sucks. All right.
So what I said earlier about I'm not picking Hot Dog because Hot Dog is the go-to,
Yeah.
and you had already
easy.
picked
That's
that.
easy. Yeah.
But I forgot about your friend who pick Candy Store Rock because that's what I picked was Candy Store Rock from Presents. Uninspired Zeppelin attempting to replicate Eddie Cochran, and I can't buy Robert Plant delivering the vocals like that. However, Bonham is still killing it though because he's Bonham and he was always great.
Bonham was wasted on that song. Not wasted.
For sure
like,
he was.
He probably was drunk, but I mean, like, his talents were wasted on
He
that
wasn't
song.
probably drunk. He was for sure drunk.
And
'cause
look,
he
that's
was
another
always
reason why
drunk.
hats off to Roy Harper sucks. No Bonham.
No Bonham.
No
All
John
right.
Paul Jones.
No, just Plant and Page.
And
Stone.
look what happened there.
Yeah, right. Let's not even talk about the Page and Plant record.
See, this is what happens when you don't include your rhythm section.
Exactly.
It's bad. Very, very bad. But yeah, Candy Store Rock sucks.
It does. It's
It
not.
does.
It's not good.
And Presence is my favorite Zeppelin album. I just love that album. That song could be taken away, but like T for One and Nobody's Fault But Mine.
T
and-
for One is a highly underappreciated Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin song. Of course, Achilles' Last Stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, Presence is, I think, the sleeper in the whole
Yeah,
Zeppelin catalog. But Candy Store Rock is definitely the shit stain on it. And the cover sucks too. The album cover is terrible.
Well, the album cover is the album cover, but I actually just got a version of that. I got the gatefold version of it, and it's funny because like they put the object, that's that black thing that's on the front cover that the family's all sitting around, and there's several pictures with the object in it that there was no Photoshop in the 70s, so that I think Hypnosis did the album
did.
cover, and they did all those famous Pink Floyd covers and what have you back in the day. There. Like where there's people like holding the object, but there's no like shadow on the ground. Like they skipped some of the things that you kind of needed to do to
Right.
kind of make it like more realistic. Like you went as far as to make it look like it belonged there, but there's no like, yeah, all right. Oh, I see what happened. I kind of dig the cover. It's kind of cool, but from that album, Hot's On For Nowhere, by far my favorite Zeppelin song on that album. I love that song. I love Bonham's like just groovy beat on that song.
Yep.
And then when he just starts breaking it in like midway and just starts like bashing the cymbals, you can like hear them screaming because he's just like bashing them so hard. You know, he probably broke a cymbal or two while recording that song.
Yep.
Because he played those like marching drumsticks with wrists of fury and just destroyed everything in its wake. So,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He's just incredible. I mean, there's just people always talk about overrated this and blah, blah, blah. And there's people that think Bonham's overrated. They're out of their fucking mind. He's the greatest rock drummer ever and ever will be. There will never be anybody that does rock drumming better than John Bonham. I'm not saying he's the most technically, but he's not. He's got the technical ability. There's a difference. To me, drumming as a drummer, drumming is about pocket and feel and driving the fucking band. And tell me somebody who did that better than John Bonham. No one. No, not you. Definitely not you, because you picked Electric Ladyland.
You gave me Hendrix. What do you want me to do?
You gave me Slayer.
You okay? And you picked a song that I kind of agree with.
See, I don't think we fought as much as we thought we would, because when you make your case on some of these songs, you go, well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to pick Dead Skin Mask, right?
No,
you're going to pick.
Would you? It's a great song.
Exactly. So you're going to pick Eyes of the Insane.
I mean, there are other songs that suck more, like Desire. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have picked Eyes of the Insane, but I just don't disagree with you on it so much that I want to yell at you about it.
Right.
You know, there's a difference. There's a difference.
Like you with Murder by Numbers.
Fuck Murder by Numbers.
Which is hands down the most insane thing that's been discussed on the show tonight.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No. The fact that you think Big Money sucks.
Big Money is terrible.
Big Money was the first single from that album.
But you basically said like Spirit of the Radio sucks when you said that Murder by Numbers sucks.
No, because Murder by Numbers was not the first single off Synchronicity either.
What does the order of singles have anything to do with if a song sucks?
Because
there's been a lot of bad
track.
singles.
There's a reason why it's an album track. It's because it sucks.
There's been some bad singles too. Let's be honest.
Your bad single.
Butterfly Kisses was a big single too, and that isn't necessarily a great tune.
Song. You love that song. And you love Meet Me in the Middle by Maren Morris.
No, my
God. Oh, yes, you are. You're all about
Jesus Christ. That song
all about that song.
That song can go fuck itself.
Meet me in the middle. Yeah, you love that song.
That song makes me want to kick children.
For any of you that don't know the song we're talking about, don't listen to it. Don't go on YouTube. Don't search it. Don't find it on Apple Music. Do not listen to Meet Me in the Middle by Maren Morris. You will hate us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't already, you probably do. But please,
that song is as bad as Up for Breakfast.
The fact that I know that song, it tells you how much that song has been played everywhere.
Yeah, you go to the airport, that song's on.
I don't listen to the radio and I know that song. Right?
Yes.
It's like played in the doctor's office. It's played in, through my freaking air conditioner somehow. That song sucks. Actually, it doesn't suck. It's your typical bullshit country pop tune that they call country because there's like a violin note somewhere in it.
Yeah, and she's from the South, so then it's country.
Well, fuck that. See, now we're cursing a lot. Now, I'm angry. Damn it. All right, we got one more segment to go through here. God damn it. And that's called Discovered.
Wait, hang on. Before we go any further, hang on. God. I just saw that Pat Middlestat about 10 minutes ago said, I agree with Mike on this one. Pat, were you referring to Murder by Numbers or were you referring to Led Zeppelin?
Oh, I hope he was.
Because Pat's a great player and he has like an appreciation for jazz and stuff. So if he picked if he's agreeing with you on Murder by Numbers, I'm going to be surprised.
Well, it was a while back. This was like when we were talking about,
I think it was
Priest, I think. So I think he might not have been referring to that, but and Mark Arnie's right. Mark Arnie's absolutely right. Don't listen to Butterfly Kisses either. Just don't.
That'll tear your head up.
See, Patrick was talking about Judas Priest. He was talking about Judas Priest.
Ah, okay.
Let's see. White Kids in Dope, originally done by Mott and the Hoople, done best. Down and Outs did it as if not better. Motley Crue destroyed it.
Mott the Hoople didn't do that song. It was the Tubes.
Yeah.
Please don't associate Ian Hunter with White Punks on Dope.
All right, great. So we have our final segment, and then everybody can go away. Look, and of course now when we're doing the final segment is when we have like the most people watching, which is great. Oh, when you guys finished, that was the best. But this is a reminder, since we have so many people, make sure if you are watching on YouTube, and I certainly hope you are, click subscribe, click like, and then hit the little alarm bell and stuff. This way it lets you know when we're going live. Next week we'll be back on again at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to try to get a special guest for next week. I'm not going to let anything out of the bag yet because the last time I said that we didn't get one. So, but I'm going to try and have a special guest for next week. So, anyway. Oh yeah. And then again, if you want to email us, where is it again?
It's up.
You want to email us, info@coveredtocovered.com. Also check out Instagram, Covered to Covered, and then on Facebook, Covered to Covered, the actual words, and then www.coveredtocovered.com. So, with all that said, our final topic is Discovered. And that's when we discuss a cover song that we like as much, if not more than the original. And I'm going to go with something a little bit controversial, but I'm going to have you go first, sir. And let's talk about it.
Okay, so my pick this week for Discovered is Deep Purple's cover of 7 and 7 Is, which is a great song by Love. Fantastic psych rock band from the late 60s. And for those that don't know, Deep Purple did a whole covers record last year called Turning to Crime, and there's some great songs on it, like this one, deep cut songs, like this one. There's also a fantastic cover, which I think I picked a couple months ago, of them doing Lucifer by the Bob Seger System, which is early Bob Seger. There's a great mashup of like White Room on there and Beck's Bolero. It's really cool. It's cool to hear a band like Deep Purple, who's so influential and so classic, dig into some of their contemporary artists and put out a great record. Unfortunately, there is a cover. I'll have to give everybody a warning. There is a cover of Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu, which is another one of the worst songs ever. But Deep Purple does it pretty cool. So if
I've
you
heard
got to
so
hear
many covers of that song, and actually the best cover I ever heard, I think it was Phoebe Snow did it on David Letterman in the early 90s, and she destroyed. She was so good, and she hit these notes that it was just like, holy crap. So if you could find that on the YouTubes, I believe it was Phoebe Snow on David Letterman, on Late Night with David Letterman, and her whole backing band was the Most Dangerous Band. So
I'm going to check that out, but let me ask you this. Do you think, and I know you haven't heard this version, but do you think her version was better than the Grateful Dead doing it in 1971?
Oh, no.
It couldn't have been.
Yeah, it couldn't have been, because the Grateful Dead's my favorite band.
Right. And they're always celebrated for how fantastic their covers are.
Yeah.
Specifically, check out their version of Second That Emotion.
Yeah, I love the Grateful Dead like it's nobody's business. There's no way that any song they ever do could ever be done better by anybody else. Ever.
Right.
They suck! They suck! Without even hearing the Grateful Dead version, Phoebe Snow's version is way better. Guaranteed. 100%. Second That Emotion, much better by Smokey Robinson. I'm sorry. There's no way it could have possibly been done better. No.
Well, they also did a great version of Hey Jude in 1968.
No, they didn't. And they didn't do a good version of Good Lovin' either. No, they didn't.
Pigpen Good Lovin's are on point. I don't know about Bob Weir.
No. They all suck. All of them. They all suck.
I disagree.
Yeah, I know. You wanted us to argue. Oh, well, I'm ready.
Paul McCartney says she's related to Al Snow.
What?
That's fantastic.
Oh, now another that one Rush song did that lasted 50 years suck. Well, you know who else sucked? John Byrne. Triumph. Canada's 8th best trio.
Just
there's
before
Rush,
Zebra.
Zebra's from Long Island and New Orleans. So
I thought they were from Canada.
No, they're not. So there's Rush, then a bunch of bar bands,
Anvil,
Triumph, and then like some other trio that happens to round out the top 10.
Anvil.
That's what it is. Anvil. There you go. It's Rush, Anvil, bunch of bar bands, Triumph.
Clearly, Mike, you don't have the magic power.
I guess not, and that's fine. But I'll fight the good fight. No, wait a minute. No. All right. Discovered cover songs that we like as much, if not more, than the original. Now, you picked a song that made me get angry in the end. But, all right. So, my choice, and this is going to make people angry too, only because I've been listening to it recently, and it's been stuck in my head. And if a song sticks in my head, it's got to have something to it. You know, now this is not better than the original. It is not. All right. But I like it as much as the original in some ways. And that's Volbeat's version of I Only Want to Be With You by Dusty Springfield. They do a pretty decent version of it for a heavy metal band, for a thrash kind of thing.
It's awful.
Impersonating Life of Agony. I like it. I think it's actually pretty good.
That guy's voice is one of the worst ever.
I only want to be with you.
He sounds like a baby seal getting clubbed.
Listen, clubbing baby seals, they should not have glow sticks.
No.
Get it? Clubbing.
I got it.
You know, disco ball.
I got it. No way. I completely disagree. That song is great, but that version is awful.
This is good. This is awful?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Faith No More's version of War Pigs is actually pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with Volbeat's version of I Only Want to Be With You.
Well, have you listened to it recently?
Luckily, no. I heard it when Scott Ian sat in with them and was playing it on the VH1 Rock Honors or whatever the hell it was.
All right, so why don't you go listen to it and then tell me you don't like it?
I won't. I won't like it because it's Volbeat and they're awful.
Oh, okay.
Look, Pat Middlestat. Nope, don't like it.
I don't like Patrick.
You do, though. You guys have a lot in common.
No, we don't.
I disagree completely.
That's what the show's all about, is contrarianism.
I thought you were going to pick, the way you were setting it up, I thought you were going to pick an actual fantastic cover like Faster Pussycat doing You're So Vain.
No, that's actually not a very good cover.
It's a terrible cover.
You're so vain.
It's one of the only cover worse than that is Judas Priest doing Johnny Be Good.
No, the only cover worse than that is Kick Tracy doing Cats in the Cradle. Oh my God!
Wait, did they do that? I thought Ugly Kid Joe did Cats in the Cradle.
Ugly Kid Joe did a decent version of it, not a great version.
That's decent. You're telling me the Kick Tracy version is worse than the Ugly Kid Joe?
Oh yeah. Oh, by far. It's so bad. It's so bad. Find it. Trust me. Jeff Henderson will be like, "Oh, great! I need to listen to it again and again and let out my seed as I do so." Because he loves it. He wants to rub that album all over himself like it's baby oil. And I think he does, actually.
All right, then.
So there's that. But anyway, okay. So that concludes this.
No,
they did.
No.
Five Finger Death Punch doesn't. They actually did Blue on Black.
Oh, God.
With Kenny Wayne Shepherd. Five Finger Death Punch did a pretty good cover of Blue on Black by Kenny Wayne Shepherd, with Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So I think that's saying something. Listen. All right, now we're getting comments. Was this best or worst cover song?
Yeah, right. I'm wondering the same thing.
We talk about one. We will do a discovered marathon eventually. I'm sure of it. But listen, y'all, all your taste, everybody in this fucking feed right now, all your taste, right in your mouth. That's it. That's all you got. You got nothing else. I'm yelling at our audience.
Before we go any further, I just want to say Five Finger Death Punch doing Bad Company is one of the worst things ever. Terrible.
I love what I read. Somebody called them 5 flavor fruit punch.
Five Finger Fist fuck.
That's not a punch.
What about,
I mean, it is.
and I've said this before, but like,
See, look at this. See, now eat your words. What a lot of people
well,
don't
that's
realize
great.
is
That's
that the money
great.
Five Finger Death Punch makes on their covers goes to military charity.
Okay, well then in that case, I hope they make a lot of money with their covers, but that doesn't make their performance good.
Well, your performance is nonsense.
How could the Death Punch sound be their claim to fame when it's a cover?
But they're what?
In the Bad Company cover, he changes the lyrics to say the Death Punch sound is our claim to fame.
Why does it say my connection is unstable?
Because you're unstable.
You're unstable.
Well, I'm glad they donate all the money to military charity.
Yes,
That's
go
very
on Apple
important.
Music and download all the Five Finger Death Punch, the 5 flavor fruit punch that you can, but only the covers. And then everybody grow out a beard to make it look like a octopus tentacles.
Yeah, and throw a fit on stage like that singer always does, like he's Danzig or something.
Yeah, well, I can't say that I'm necessarily a fan of the band, but they have a couple of tunes that are actually okay, and they do some pretty decent covers. So, all right, with that, we're done. Thank you all for joining us. We love you all. This has all been in good fun. So all the ribbing and things like that, I actually don't like Nick, but I love everybody in the chat. And you'll catch us next week with an actual normal topic. But we will fight on something. I guarantee it.
Always do.
Always do.
We could carry on the murder by numbers fight.
Listen, that will go on forever, obviously, because you don't want to let it die.
Because it's a bad choice.
No, it's a bad song.
Nope.
Yes, it is. It's quite terrible. John, listen, John's late to the party. So you know what? You can make all the suggestions you want. He probably, I have a list of songs that suck. It's the entire Rush catalog. Like that's what he would do to me, of course.
Kiss
Kiss.
entire.
All right. So close. We're close. We're close. See, this is what he does. So, but look, I'm glad you tuned in, John. I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad everybody tuned in. Priest Turbo. Well, we
just
did
both
this.
said that we liked the
already.
song.
We did this already. We talked about rock you all around the world. Rock you all around the world. We're gonna rock you. We're gonna wreck you.
Thanks, Mark, for saying great show.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Our biggest fan. Thank you, Mark Garney. Much appreciated, sir. To all of you that have not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, hit like, leave comments, become part of the team, part of the family. We're trying to grow this thing. We're going to try to get more special guests, but we can only do it if we have more people coming in because, with 32 subscribers, it's kind of hard to pull in A-list talent, So anybody that wishes to join us, we'll wait until we have at least 33 subscribers. So
then we'll start approaching the big name people.
Yeah, we'll get to Lars Ulrich at some point.
Yeah, we could talk about everything that sucks about him.
Yeah, which that would be a marathon. That would be a 24-hour session.
Right. Let's start at track 1. Hit the lights. What's going on with that drum fill at the beginning there, bro?
Anyway, great. Thank you all so much. My name is Mike Venezia. That is Nick Morocco. Nick, tell us about your store.
Rock City Music Company.
Where is it?
Livonia, Michigan.
How can we find you?
RockCityMusicCo.com.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And on behalf of Roger, who is actually fairly well behaved, we say thank you.
I haven't seen him in a minute. It means he's probably doing something he shouldn't be.
He's sleeping right over here.
Oh, okay. Well, then
once he's calm. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.